Good afternoon. My name is Cam Smith, and this is my public speaking speech. So I'll just go ahead and get into it. Here we go. Most people think that major changes in life come from big decisions like moving to a new city, changing careers, or ending a relationship. And while that's absolutely true and part of what I'm talking about today, the most meaningful change in my recent life started with something much smaller, and it was the day that I decided to support the Tottenham Hotspurs. I've always been a massive sports fan, baseball, basketball, football growing up, and soccer was just something that never really connected to me. Just as an American, it's all football here, and ultimately just didn't pay much attention to it. But when I moved up to Oklahoma, I started pursuing my degree in history and wanting to get my PhD in archaeology. That led to a transition in studying more Europe and Middle East, just everything about that region. Eventually, I found the football culture, as they call it over there, found how fascinating it was. That bridged over into my interests. So I picked Tottenham as my team, and from that day on, I started watching Premier League highlights almost every day. I landed on them not because they were the most dominant or successful team, but because they had some of the most bizarre highs and lows of any team imaginable. As a Minnesota Vikings fan, it just felt like a natural transition for me. So far this season, we've managed 6 2-2 draws, 4 red cards, several bicycle kicks, multiple Puskas goal contenders, and somehow we're sitting here fearing relegation at the moment. It has been one of the most chaotic and weird times of my life watching this, and yet despite all of that, I am completely immersed. I found myself just peering through articles, statistics over everything relating to soccer across all of Europe, and kind of what perfectly captures my support with Tottenham comes in the quote of our captain Christian Romero here, and he quotes, "At times like this, it should be other people coming to speak out, but they don't, as has been happening for several years now. They only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies." Now, that was his call out on the board recently, and that's just something that you don't see in American culture. You don't see that in football. You don't see players calling out owners and board like that in American sports, and it was just something that I found so fascinating in the way the world is changing and the way that there's just an increasing unpredictability about what's happening. This side of life has been something that I've been able to immerse myself in. And also, just moving up here, didn't think I would find many Oklahoma soccer friends, but believe it or not, there's a few up here. And so from a social perspective, that's been fantastic. I mean, ultimately this obsession has just sparked a broader fascination with my degree and with European culture, and I hope to eventually travel abroad someday, see some matches, do some digging, of course. And ultimately, it might seem kind of trivial or even foolish to talk about a soccer team being a meaningful change in my life, but through all of this chaos and ups and downs, this team has given me a real passion and commitment, and something that I can come back to every week and know at the very least I am watching my Tottenham Hotspurs do something insane. So I didn't just choose a soccer team. It's stress, heartbreak, and all of the above, but ultimately it's a new direction. So thank you.